Good afternoon. I know I am between lunch and this panel. So I will try to justify and make this discussion more interesting and meaningful so that the delay in lunch can be compensated. Okay. So this is NK Singh. I am founder for Data Center Guru, and we are providing consulting and advisory services around data center lifecycle. We are also in a process of building a platform which we intend to call it Data Center Ashram, and which we plan to uh, plug in the scarce of skilled resources in the data center industry. So we are planning to have this unique platform. This is the only platform which runs through three stages of learning, 3E process. We call about education, exposure, and experience. And the purpose was to produce industry-ready resources which can be consumed by the companies, rather than hiring you, training them for a year and 2 years, and when the guy gets skilled, he leaves the company and joins somewhere else. So that's what we are trying to remove that cycle and give you ready resources so that you can be able to get out of that cycle of iterations, and also flood in adequate number of skilled resources so that the issue of musical chair is not there. My target is within 2-3 years, this issue must be plugged in. And we intend to launch it by end of this year in probably this next data center event in Mumbai. Okay. So coming back to the topic, in terms of everybody knows where we stand in terms of data center and what are the issues, challenges. We have our panel from diversified field. So we have a data center operator. We have hyperscale data center supply chain side. And we also have a person from a design and engineering side of the data center. So as you know, when we talk about data center overall build cycle, let us talk about, because that's what the topic discussion today. And I would like to run it through different stages and the process and controls during the design and build life cycle. Assess what is the current stage, what are the challenges, and how can we improve into just specific areas, and then accordingly we'll summarize. So before I move to the panel discussion, I would like to request my panelists to just have a quick intro, and then we get into the discussion aspect of it. Yeah, Prasun, please.
Hi. Hi. So I understand that, as told, that lunch is getting delayed. So I will not spare much time. So myself, Prasun, I am taking care of quality and commissioning of the developer from developer side, and I have almost 18 years experience in this field. Previously was in design, then moved to quality, and now taking care of commissioning. So experienced a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges. Now trying to implement that all those learnings in upcoming phases. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I am Abhinav. I'm supply chain and sourcing professional for almost 1.5 decades now. Moving to multiple industries, and now part of the data center industry, just like as you guys are. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashish Tiwari, Director of Black and White Engineering. I'm in consultancy engineering since 20 years, in data centers since 3 years on continuous design and development. So as a Black and White, we provide complete in-house solutions for designing. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Now coming back to the data center build process. So obviously there are different stages in the data center, which starts from selection of the site, then you get into the design stage. During the construction stage, you have got L1 to L5 level of commissioning. Then you have transition to operational stage. So I'm not touching more of on the operational stage aspect of it. So we will be touching these stages. But during this stage, obviously there are multiple sub-stages, and we would like to dwell into couple of aspects in terms of what are the key issues currently which we are facing. Because if I give you the overall view on the data center perspective also, almost lot of states has already got a data center policies. There has already been tweaking around different codes for the data center related stuff. Because earlier the data center building were not coming under separate building class. It was coming in the IT building only. Now it has got a different class. And in that process, we also have got a national level data center policy. Now, still, we are growing at faster rate, and we have got the panelists across the different functions and the companies. They can be able to share with us their view. And first, I would like to go with Anubhav and ask, in terms of when you talk about overall supply chain perspective on the data center different components, because in the build cycle that is one of the largest time consuming cycle. So how do you see the challenges or improvement or closer up in those areas?
So the life cycle of data center itself does not start from the building itself. It's as you rightly mentioned, it starts from identifying the land. So it has to be the right piece of land which is equipped and connected with all the necessary infrastructure such as power, telecom, and has the fibers running right up to it in time when the data center is up and running. Right. Then moving to the construction phase is finding the right partners. There are challenges of finding the right partners in terms of having the understanding of what data center is, what are the sequencing about it, and how to move forward. And it is all about time to market. Within the committed time, are they able to finish the job or not? These are on the construction portion of it, and then finally the equipment. These life cycles or the lead time for building some of the equipment is not just in month, and sometimes run into years as well. So we have to have the right mix of the visibility in terms of when the partners in the construction piece are going to require it, so the back ordering can happen on time. And when it actually is delivered, they are ready to install and finish the job and hand it over to the operations in time. So the major challenges that we have is visibility and reliability on the dates which are committed is actually delivered.
Thanks, Anubhav. Now coming back to one of the factors which is very, very crucial, which was discussed in the last panel also, when we talk about approvals. So obviously there are different set of statutory approval required before we get into the design or build of the data center, and which used to take months and even years together to get the approval earlier. Now there has been improvement. So I would like, I request Ashish to just dwell into it in terms of what is that improvement which we have gone into the approval process, and where are the areas where we see we can improve.
Okay. Thanks. Mainly if you see approval process, it's varying with the state to state. It's having a multiple approval authorities. So whenever you planning any data center, you have to go all those one. It's timeline also varying on their one. If we say tier 1 city, there are few which having a good process, at least they taking a time 6 to 8 months till now. But there are, if you go on tier 2 and those cities who does not have that much of facility on authority approval, it will taking 12 months, 16 months on their one. And the process is delaying. There are multiple reasons on their one, because those cities don't have that kind of ability within an authority to check the drawing document or understand what is the actual data center requirement. So because of that, knowledge is not spread all over the authorities. So that's the reason it's taking too much time on their one. And they first they understanding, and that's the, as well as there is a different authority submissions. Like you have to go separately submit to different authority. When the building plan approval done, then you can go to the fire one. Otherwise, in most of the state, they won't entertain you as a fire submissions, because they never looking the drawing until another building plan is approved. So if like Chennai already have a single window solution, and still that's whatever desired as a single window solution not achieved, because the target is somewhere around month or 3 months, it get complete like approval on their one. So at least you can get all fire approvals, you can working on the design and that then process on their one. But on other like this single window solution is not applicable. Because of that, it's getting much delay. And this delay is impacting on the project design process. I just giving some examples on their one. There is a more than double and over, there is a time process, design process in India compared to abroad. If you compare to abroad, hardly 30 weeks, 28 weeks, they can complete all the design, stage 2 to stage 4, concept to DD level, they can design all the things. We can't reach up to those timeline within authority approval and the concept. So that's the affecting data center market because of that gap. And that gap need to be optimized, like their kind of a authority kind of seminars. So authority approval persons need to be attained, get educated, what the development happening in different tier 1 cities, why they're giving much like early approval, they are much aware. So that like initially when NBC 2025 launched, most of the authority don't know what's updated on their one. There is a dedicated seminars happen because to just to update everyone. Similarly, this kind of updation need to be happen amongst the authorities. If that authority become much aware, knowledgeable, intelligent, yes, this process will also improve. It will not improve if you use single window only, because it need to be get improved if the person need to be understand what's need to be looked and how it's need to be looked. So that's the process.
So what you were saying is Chennai has got single window concept where approvals are faster comparatively. Yes. You are talking about around 3 months.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis other states like Telangana, Maharashtra, it is taking 8 months, 1 year.
8 months, yeah.
Right?
But in some states, it's like it's taking, if you go on UP, it's taking much more than expecting on their one. So it's taking 12 months, 18 months. Even you can see the comment from the authority which is not right one, because they don't know the what's required as a data center. So they're just focusing on NBC code and those items because they're not fully aware, they're not fully knowledgeable on that point of view. So that knowledge process need to be percolate all the authorities. It may be happen within the authority, they can arrange some seminar or some other things.
Great. Thank you. One more thing, I met Mighty, the Joint Secretary, recently or a month back. And they were talking about a different problem what they are facing. Okay, he was giving one example also. So what they are looking at, can they identify, because government has got visibility of all the land parcel in different, even state guys has got, and even at different locations. Can they identify that specific location for a data center or larger, and there you built on and move ahead with it? Because what is happening is, he was giving example. There was a data center in Hyderabad and it is already working. And he had a plot across the road. And they were asking, instead of this, you take the other plot side of it and use the data center there. And the data center operator, whoever intend to build, they say, no, I don't want this, I want this only. So can the industry or the user who is accommodating, can they be flexible enough also? Because there is a big amount of collaboration required from the industry and the government. Then only they will also understand the nuances. Government understand your nuances, then only the gaps can be plugged in. So, can you be able to throw some light on it? Yes? Yes, or if you can,
Yeah, because there are some land already identified by the governments, state governments, which can be used for data center purpose. They are generally identified. But what's happened when, like, suppose any operator or any developer going to want that land, so they perform due diligence before purchasing or taking that kind of a contract. So that when they're performing due diligence, then they find there are different constraints on their one, which was not clearly known by the authorities, maybe not, like even power authority don't know that kind of constraints are there. So these kind of a situation happening, yes, they'll identify those land, but when any person go do like a detailed analysis, they found no, that land is not purpose what we want. So because of that, they need to change the mind. No, they can't purchase. Maybe you can add.
I think he has covered the point.
yeah, okay, I understand.
So it's not about offering the land just across the road. I think from the selection of it, the companies are agnostic, whether it's this location or immediately next one across the road. That's not a challenge. It's after the diligence, what really comes out of it. What are the challenges? What are the limitations? Is power infrastructure available there? What kind of power you have to do? What kind is telecom line only built on this corridor and you have to lay another one for that corridor, or there are some other challenges on encumbrances perspective. So the land needs to be encumbrance free and connected to all the network, be it power or be it fiber. That's the bare minimum requirement.
I have not gone into the details of it, but they were saying the locations were not so far. They're talking about Gachibowli one side and another side of the road. So anyway, there has to be some kind of synchronization. So that's what I suggested to Mighty also. So you need a bridge between.
So I think those feedbacks are provided
yes.
back to the relevant authority or the SPOC. Yeah.
Prasun, do you want to add anything on the statutory approval front?
Statutory approval fronts, basically it gets delayed due to the understanding issues of the newcomers, right? But again, it depends on the government policies, government norms and all. But this delay, what we are talking about, how to simplify the process, again, if it gets delayed, then further delay happens on the execution side, design side, and further commissioning and handover. We are talking about the data center projects now, but the thing is that, that final stage of the handover, if we consider, then it has the enormous effect if we don't consider all these primary delays on the statutory part and then the execution design part delays. See, so now we need to add all these delays. We need to have one, that process-oriented, systematic drive to the further completion of the project. Now, in quality, as I'm taking care of quality, so I can say that we have minimized this delay with eliminating all this documentation procedure, which is major in data center field. We have implemented now we are all going to the digitalization mode. So where we earlier we come to desk by desk and take the approval from the authorities to get sign off on the material inspection, work inspection. Those all sort of process we can do it online. If a material gets dispatched at site, then immediately in front of the material, a person with his mobile, he can check whether that is as per the technical specification or not. He should not again go back to the office, prepare the report, and then he needs to take the approval for, after coming back to this again, the approval authority. If we can digitalize the entire process, then I think there will be the less effect of all these delays during when we will finally finish that project.
So are you talking about automation internally, or you are talking about this external automation on the approval process?
Internal.
Internal. Yeah. Okay. Another aspect is, you said you have built up a kind of a workflow.
Yes.
on approval process for internal quality management framework and the process aspect of it. What about the overall quality planning and how you have integrated the quality planning into this process?
Yeah, see, we need to think about the workman's perspective because they are the person who are doing the work. So again, it comes the skill development of the workman, especially this kind of data center mission critical projects where the final output is on the execution part only. So we can work it on having a standard process of the quality management plan where it starts from the visibility to the workman, what to do, what not to do at the site on the when the work will be in progress. And then it comes the proper setup of the method statement adherence. We prepare the method statement based on our earlier experience and the defects what we have registered on various kind of projects. But whether those learnings are getting implemented at site or not, that adherence part we are missing and somehow in multiple projects, and that has the enormous rectification delay which we face the challenge. Now, if we talk about the quality management plan, first we need to have a quality policy, then we need to have a quality committee where the leadership team will also get engaged there, and then further we will develop all this quality plan, method statements, and then the checklist. Every activity at site must have the three part of checklist: pre, process, and post. Before engaging the workman at site, we have to give the training to the workman. We have to give them the awareness that how to do this work. In global sites, I have visited multiple countries, and I found that the skill of the workman is much higher than the skill of us, but we have the enough manpower. That particular part, if we develop, then sure that India will develop, and India will rapidly develop like anything. So now that skill development, and then it comes this the defect register, observation raising, NCR raising. But I'm not very much fond of the raising of the observations and defects, rather than giving them the awareness skills development and the training session to the workman. Because observations, anybody can come to site and give and raise the observation and NCR. Yes. But whether that is not getting repetitive in upcoming work, that needs to be monitored. So if we have a strong adherence from our team, then this less defects and less issues will be there, and we can have a smooth commissioning process during handing over. As we know that quality defects mostly affect the commissioning and then further operation challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Because myself, I had discussion with multiple data center operators. I found quality of project delivery specifically, there has been an issue. And the issue has been not because there are not people, quality people, but the issue has been because we do not have proper quality management framework, and we have not been able to define quality for each and every systems and subsystems for different stages of the project. If we are able to define it, what is the meaning of a quality, what you are talking about, and you might have done it also, then the other guy knows what he has to do. He can just do his job, checklist it, document it, and put it on the piece of paper.
Yeah, and one more important part in quality is to have that one training calendar, repeated training to the workman. As just in this previous discussion, I found that one of the leader saying that most of the skilled workers, when you give the training to the workman, they are getting skill. Now, if that particular skilled workman leaves that particular place and work, and then again fresh chunk of new workman comes, then again we need to give the training, we need to again develop the skill. So in entirety, what I suggest that even our government has also the NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation, which has the multiple agencies to give the training at site. So if we do this continuously, if we have the process of their telling calendar, then as a broader view, nation can develop this all skill sets and better data center, better quality projects we can have in the future.
Sure. Thank you. We have got short time, so I have got one more question, which is again related with supply chain. Anubhav, you have been enabling the data center build cycle in completing the project within the time and all. What I would like to understand from you is, what are the areas where the things are going good, and you have also been exposed to other part of the world. So let us talk about even the ASEAN part of it. So which are the areas where we are good at and at par, and which are the areas where you are finding something difficult to cope up with, where we need improvement?
See, equipment portion is something India does have the capability at this point. May not be at 100%, but yeah, it's a significant portion that we get products made in India and supplied for India. So that is something which has room for improvement, but yeah, we are quite good on that. The other portion is the construction arm of it. That's where, as Prasun rightly mentioned, it is also the skilled manpower. Skilled manpower is not just the one segment of it; it's the entire value chain of the skilled manpower. So it is not that the trainings are not provided. I believe all our contractors and everyone is providing relevant trainings to these folks. But once they reach a specific skill set, what we have seen as a trend, there is a lot of attrition, be it moving between the projects within the country or moving outside the country, where pays are slightly higher. So that's one of the aspects that we have felt, and that's what leaves the gap back and for us to fill. And then while the quality frameworks are there, the adherence or the implementation on the ground is what we see as a challenge. I think from an operator standpoint, there are all the quality and all commissioning procedures are well set. It is only customized to a very specific requirement of that site, but that's also by not a lot. It's actually the implementation on the ground which really delays the entire project. And if we do not have the identification of these gaps during the construction and plug it during the construction period itself, of which MEP is the majority portion, that's when during commissioning we see challenges, and these are challenges which may not be able to resolve in 1 day or 2 days. Right. If we need some redesign of the equipment because of something has happened during the construction phase, it's weeks and months.
And one of the case I would like to highlight that the snacks part. So when we give the snacks from quality side, then if that gets overlooked and we pass on to the next phase of activity, that piled up and during the IST and handover we face the challenge. So what we see in other areas, other countries, that even though if it is 100 number of snacks, they take it very seriously and they close it on priority. So we should build such a system where we'll focus on quality and not due to the we should definitely look the timeline, but we must have to look that how priority rise we can resolve all those snacks on spot, so that it should not get piled up.
Yeah, if you see from an overall construction schedule, which is part of the entire schedule and how we procure as well, 80 to 90% is construction. 10 to 20% is commissioning. Yeah, but sometimes commissioning is the one which takes the longest duration in terms of activities. Yeah,
if
but
you
the
don't
division,
manage the project,
exactly.
If you take more time,
if you keep pushing it out till the last minute, that's what piles up, and that's what causes unforeseeable delays in the entire project.
Any input from you, Ashish? Then I will summarize.
I specifically want to add few items on that one, because I have seen multiple presentation on AI, ready data center on their one. The major aspect how we can meet the power requirement and the cooling requirement for that one. Because till now, we are in India, we are not reaching on that level. Yes, it's already happening in abroad. It's happening in multiple other countries. Like everyone already aware, there is a one operator already signed off of SMRs. So they already developing SMR. So there should be on-site power they can supply and it will be reliable. They already having passing multiple certificates for safety and all their one because of the reactor. But till now, if you increasing the rack density, you have to do liquid cooling. You can't get away with that one because either you accept or not, there is a PUE requirement you have to maintain. You can't go beyond that one. So we need to work on those part as on the priority. Maybe it's happening as a pilot project, something like a kind of a project which can be happen for just for R&D purpose, but it should happen. It will improve a lot in future.
Sure. Thank you. So to summarize, if you talk about this build process and cycle, it is very, very necessary to understand what are the things on the critical path which needs attention. So obviously one of the things which is on the critical path, what we found is approvals still required a lot of improvements. However, we cannot just put the entire responsibility on the authority. There has to be some kind of collaboration and induction process with the authority so that they know what they are approving. And then these things can be done because the entire policies and the standards are made by the bodies. They made it and their job is over. There is nobody, neither operators, nor there is anybody who is enabling this process of creating an awareness and inductions to different authorities to make this life simpler. Point number one. Point number two is quality planning and governance. As he said, it is not a people-driven program where you have a guy who is skilled and you cannot leave it to them. You have to define quality and then you have to ensure that quality is adhered to. First internally and then second by a third eye looking at it that yes, the quality is adhered. And just for your information, we provide that service because we found this is one of the key problem in the industry, the quality of project delivery. And that's what we do. We define each and every quality plan for each and every subsystems. We have a quality management framework and we do a third-party governance to ensure. Third part is skilled resources is a very, very important aspect of the completion. You spend your time, money on a specific resource and then after 2 years, when he's skilled enough to deliver, he leaves and goes. Obviously, this is a problem which is normally a supply and demand gap. So that persists, that cannot go overnight. But as a data center guru, we are already trying and developing a process which can be able to produce more and more skilled resources. And maybe in next 2 years or 3 years, this would be on a different aspect of it. So with that, I don't know whether I have got time for question answer. So if there is any questions, we can discuss during the lunch time. So thank you very much for hearing patiently and hope the entire discussion has been interesting and fruitful somewhere in your mind. Thanks and have a great day.
Thank you.